How often do you go in the chippy?
We spent a lot of time in there. Mostly, you know, my granddad, who obviously lived on the corner, every Friday lunch he'd have pudding, chips, peas and gravy, and he never stopped. My dad used to have a meat pie, butty.
Now you know why the Reds are all lapped in.
Meat pie, butty.
Even if it's in bread?
It's not inbred.
Everything else is down here.
Troubled Roy Keane looked on. A bombshell was about to break.
It's Friday on Century FM.
105.4 Century FM.
Roy Keane has quit Manchester United. He's been at the club for 12 years and has decided to call it a day.
Keane left the club.
Yeah.
So I think it's well known there was a meeting. I can't say the details what happened in the meeting, but
I'll wait till I see you, lad. You can fill me in.
Yes, no, so obviously Roy Keane's had a go at some of the players on the club's TV channel, and then
I remember that.
Fergie weren't happy, so he's called a meeting. So Roy Keane said, well, let's all watch it together. So we've all went into Alex Ferguson's office, the coaches, Alex Ferguson, and the whole squad. So I was 18, 19 at the time. So we've all watched this. So Roy's asked if any of the players had a problem. So everyone said no. To be fair, it weren't bad. It wasn't that bad. I think it was obviously a hangover of something which has gone on with Roy and the manager in the past, probably. So anyway, it got into an argument between Roy and the manager, and a few different things got said, and I seen Alex Ferguson jumping over his desk. And then I was just thinking, wow, this is crazy.
He's a brave fella, he was ready to fight with Keane.
He jumped over the desk, he's getting held back, and I was just thinking, wow, this is crazy.
The Scottish are brave, lad, they don't care, do they?
It got calmed down, but then, anyway, the next day Roy Keane's coming to train him, and then about 30 minutes later we've seen him driving off. That was the last we've seen of him.
When a player leaves, especially in the middle of the season, it's always a shock, but you know, a player the stature of Keane, who's been such a great player, such a great leader, great captain, it was a big shock to everyone.
It was a massive disappointment when Roy left for everybody, I think. He was a huge influence on the club and on everybody individually that had played with him.
With the 10 pence today, Keane quits United.
Sometimes he could be harsh with you, he'd be hard. He certainly didn't take any prisoners. That sometimes could be difficult to handle, but overall he wanted the best for the team, and if you were going to be a Man United player, then you had to handle that.
In towards Keane! Roy Keane with a captain's goal for Manchester United!
There'd been a lot of things in the papers beforehand about the situation with the club and Roy, and what was meant to have been said and what wasn't meant to have been said. But a player of Roy's calibre you're going to miss, definitely.
The manager told us we've got to try and get over this as quick as we can, because he's probably been his best player that he's had since he's been at the club.
Keane will give everything. I mean, if you weren't playing well, he'd make you play well. He'd be driving you on. At the same time, if you're playing well, he'd encourage you to keep going. He drove everyone on, and how he played for his time was the best player.
Roy Keane, still Roy Keane, great chance, Roy Keane!
The distinction of Roy in terms of what I always used to say he was the best player I ever had is this, that he was the most influential. He was a driving force for the club for a decade. His desire and obsession of winning was incredible. And that marked him down as a very special player. He was a fantastic character also. So he was a loss, but I think that Roy's got big ambitions to do well in life, and I think he'll do that.